Imagine working 14 hours a day, no weekends, no vacations. You started your business to get freedom, but somehow you're working more than ever before. And here's the scary part. Most small business owners end up exactly like this. Not because they're lazy, not because they're bad at business, but because they make one simple mistake. Let me tell you a story.
A few years ago, there was a man named Ryan. Ryan loved baking. His cakes were incredible. Friends ordered them. Neighbors ordered them. Even local cafes wanted his cakes. Everyone told him, "Ryan, you should start your own bakery." And eventually, he did. At first, everything felt amazing. Customers loved his products. Orders kept coming in. Money started flowing. Ryan thought, this is the best decision I've ever made. But after a few months, things changed.
The problem was simple. Ryan knew how to bake, but he didn't know how to build a business around it. And those are completely different skills. Many people believe that being good at something automatically means you'll be good at running a business around it. But that's not true. A great photographer isn't automatically a great business owner. A great designer isn't automatically a great entrepreneur. A great baker isn't automatically a great CEO. Doing the work and building the business are two different jobs. And that's where most people get stuck.
Now here's something interesting. Every business owner actually has 3 different personalities inside them. The dreamer, the manager, and the worker. The dreamer is full of ideas. They think about the future, new products, new opportunities, big goals. The manager loves organization, schedules, plans, systems, keeping everything under control. And finally, the worker. This is the person who actually gets things done. The one making the cakes, designing the websites, editing the videos. Most people start their business as workers. They're skilled at something. But when the business grows, they must also become dreamers and managers. And that's where the struggle begins. Because one person is trying to do 3 full-time jobs. Eventually, burnout arrives.
Let's go back to Ryan. For 2 years, he worked harder and harder, but the business never felt easier. Why? Because every customer depended on him. Every decision depended on him. Every problem depended on him. If Ryan got sick, the business slowed down. If Ryan took a vacation, the business stopped. That's not a business. That's a job. A very stressful job. And many entrepreneurs don't realize this until they're completely exhausted.
One day, Ryan met an older business owner. After listening to his problems, the man asked him one question. What would happen if you disappeared for 30 days? Ryan laughed. My business would collapse. The older man smiled. Then you don't own a business. That sentence hit Ryan like a truck. For the first time, he realized the truth. He had built a job for himself, not a business.
So Ryan decided to change. Instead of doing everything himself, he started creating systems. Every process was written down. How orders were taken, how ingredients were purchased, how cakes were packaged, how deliveries were handled. Everything became a step-by-step guide. At first, it felt slow. But after a few months, something incredible happened. New employees could learn faster. Mistakes became less common. Customers received a more consistent experience. And Ryan finally had time to think about growing the business instead of constantly surviving. This is one of the biggest secrets behind successful companies. They don't rely on heroic effort. They rely on systems. Think about a fast food restaurant. The food tastes almost the same whether you're in one city or another. Why? Because they follow systems. The process is documented. The steps are clear. The result becomes predictable. That's what allows businesses to grow. Not harder work, better systems. So how can you apply this to your own business? Start with these 3 simple steps. Step 1, write down every important task you do repeatedly. Treat it like a recipe. Every step should be clear enough that someone else could follow it. Step 2, create checklists and templates. The fewer decisions people need to make, the fewer mistakes they'll make. Step 3, stop asking, how can I do this? Start asking, how can this be done without me? That single question can completely change your business.
Remember Ryan? A year later, his bakery was stronger than ever. He wasn't working 14-hour days anymore. His team handled most daily operations. Customers were happier. Profits increased. And most importantly, he started loving baking again. Because now, he baked when he wanted to, not because he had to.
The lesson is simple. Most businesses fail because the owner becomes the system. And people eventually get tired. But systems don't. If you want freedom, stop building a job. Start building a business that can grow without you. A business that works even when you're not there. Because true success isn't creating more work for yourself. It's creating something that can succeed without you. And that's the difference between owning a business and being owned by one. If you enjoyed this story and learned something valuable, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more business and money lessons. See you in the next one.